you? So it is Wednesday, so that means that we're doing another wind down Wednesday. So this will be our second. Is this only? It feels like so much more than second. Our second wind down Wednesday of 2022. So I'm excited about that. Hey, and an indie author named Brandy will join me. We will be discussing Escaping Exodus, which has been a while since I've discussed Escaping Exodus. So I'm excited about that. So let me just check on Brandy. Hey, hey Regina Renee, happy Wednesday. I hope you have having a great week. You're halfway through. Hey, Audacious Black Fountain. Oh, that's Brandy. Okay. So let me see if that works. And what I realized last week. Hey, how are you? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. I apologize. I just got out the pool.
Oh, trying to
Sorry.
apologize. I'm like, why? I couldn't just get out the pool. What I realized with the last time is I got so excited about Wine Down Wednesdays. One, I didn't have my wine. So next time, and I don't drink, but it would have been kombucha. But okay, so next
Yeah.
time I'll have my drink. And then also I got so excited I didn't introduce myself. So hey everyone, I'm Sistah Scifi. I'm CEO and founder of Sistah Scifi. Your new favorite book boutique. Sistah Scifi is the first Black-owned bookstore. I know. Daria Firebird said, "Why are you apologizing for treating yourself?" Then I'm about that life. And Sistah Scifi is the first Black-owned bookstore to focus on science fiction and fantasy. Silva, I see your quest to go live with me. Send me an email. Maybe you can join next week. So, Brandy, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hey, how are you guys? My name is Brandy. I run based on my username, I run the Audacious Black Femme page. I do something similar to you, except it's not specifically books, but I have a themed box service surrounding Black-owned business. And we just started in January, and we're really excited to continue. But, for the reason I'm on today, I just started becoming a writer, and my book should be releasing soon. I'm so excited.
So, we'll talk more about it, but give us a quick synopsis of your book and the tentative release date.
I'm sorry, what was your last thing you said?
Tentative release date?
Oh, you said the release date, yes. So currently, right now, I'm in the stage where I am copywriting it and getting my ISBN and my cover done. So the goal is to have it released by mid-February. I'm very excited. And as a conjunction to it, we'll be making a Choose Your Own Adventure promo that should be coming out at the end of this month. And then we also will be creating a graphic novel based on it after. But the synopsis of the book is basically it's about three women going in different paths of their lives, and they are at their how would you say it, their stopping point. They're just like, I don't know how to continue in life. One is just really bored with her life. Another one is, getting harassed at her job. Another one is in, an abusive relationship. And they all get to the point where they're just done, and they end up meeting gods. And it kind of goes the path, kind of like American Gods, the TV show in the book, where they find these gods, and they end up getting wrapped up into all this chaos, and they have to figure out how to solve it. And it's a 2-book series, and I don't want to give away too much, but it's all Black characters. It's based on real mythology, and I'm really excited.
That sounds awesome. I watched American Gods, the TV show, and the only thing that saved American Gods for me was Yatunde as Bilquis. The rest, oh, and then also I like Odin's character, maybe because I watched too much Vikings. But Regina Renee says congratulations. In general, people are excited about the book, so we'll talk more about that at the end of this
Yes, ma'am.
one on Wednesdays. Even though
Yeah.
neither one of us has a beverage, but we'll fix that for next time. So, escaping Exodus. Are you ready for this conversation, Brandy?
If you start me off, I can talk about it.
Of course, of course. So I'll start with the summary. It's going to look like I'm looking off camera because I'm reading the summary. So, or the synopsis: Escaping Exodus is a story of a young woman named Seske Kaleigh, heir apparent to the command of a biological, city-sized starship carved out from the insides of a star-faring beast. So, in reading this book, I was like, I don't understand. They're like moving around space in like this really large whale, but that's what's going on. And her clan is just now called their latest ship, and the workers are busy stripping down the bonework for building materials, rerouting the circulatory system for mass transit, and preparing the cavernous creature for the onslaught of the general population still in stasis. As it's all part of the cycle her clan has instituted centuries ago to excavate the new beast, expand it into a barely living carcass, extinguish its resources over the course of a decade, and then escape in a highly coordinated exodus back into stasis until they can call the next beast from the diminishing herd. So there's that. And of course, there wouldn't be much of a story unless something went terribly, terribly wrong.
Always.
So that is Escaping Exodus. This
So
is a book
I'm
by Nikki Drayton.
I love it. I actually ordered it, and that's next on my list. But I was listening to you, and I was just like, this really reminds me of another series. But I think this is super dope. I love how a lot of sci-fi series are now becoming pro-Black. And I was just listening to you, and I was like, this is freaking awesome. And yeah, that's my next book, and I actually. It kind of sounds similar to the book that I just read. I think it was like, it started with an N. I got off your website. It's like Nikie. I'm trying to remember, but it's a 3-book series.
A 3-book series starting like the author's name starts with an N.
Oh no, the title Niobe, I think. But it's fine. But I really like it.
It's gonna like drive me crazy. I was like, because usually I'm really good at that. I'm like, oh, a book. It starts with an N. It's on my site. It's like, because there are not like that many books on the site. So now I'm just like, why am I drawing
Oh,
a
Binti. Binti. They said it in the comments. It was Binti.
What?
Yeah, I read it.
I was like, I'm so confused. Yes, Binti. You'll enjoy that, and you got the trilogy. So yeah, you'll get that. And I thought you got this one off the site, which is why I picked it. But
oh yeah, I did get that off the site.
okay.
I got that one, Binti, and I got like one other one, and I just finished Binti, and that one was next. And so I'm like super excited.
Yay! So okay, so I thought, and so we talked about this earlier. So Escaping Exodus, but we can talk about Binti because I'm saying like, oh, I've read Binti, like I've read all these like books on my site, but I haven't. So yeah, we can talk about Binti.
Yeah, so from what I remember, she really wanted, so I'm trying to remember it a little bit. So she wanted to go off and do her own thing, but her family said she had to stay with her clan. And what were they doing? I think they like made music or something like that.
In terms of Binti, which is really, you have this young woman, she's in a clan that usually stays where they're at. I think we posted a good quote for them. Like, most people want to explore the world outside. Her clan prefers to explore the world within. She's in this ship to go to UMSI University. It gets attacked by the Medusa, and that's kind of like stage 1 of her off-planet adventures. And also, like, it's hard for her to navigate being like, she's Himba, and most people haven't interacted with the Himba, and then they also have this ujize that she puts on her hair, and then also her skin, and then she's trying to adapt to all of that. So, and Binti was published as 3 novellas, and then if you get the bind up, you get an additional 4th story, which I enjoy. Oh, and fun fact, in case you don't know, Binti is being produced for television for Hulu, and Nadia Corfor is writing the screenplay. Yeah. So Dari Fireworks says that they also love Binti. I enjoy Binti a lot. just I enjoyed the fact that she was a math genius. So what did you enjoy about Betsy?
So I remember I was reading Venti, and I remember I was reading it, and I was just like, okay, I'm getting the vibe of the family and stuff like that. And then I remembered it was the part where everybody got attacked. And I remember I was so scared because all the monsters came out, and the way that she wrote it, and I was just like, oh my God, like I was scared. Like I was like looking at it through her eyes, and then that was my first favorite part. I really liked that part. It was really well described. And then when she went to the university, I like how they described it, because it was kind of like, she went up in the tower, and then it kind of, when I looked in my head, it kind of reminded me of like a metro station, like getting there. And I was just like, oh, it's so vivid. I can remember it. And then, I just thought it was super cool. That part of the story was my favorite part. Her getting from her home and figuring out that, I just got to do this. And then now I got to reread it. I love it so much. I reread books that I love at least 5 times.
Oh, that's good. I'm getting used to rereading. I think what I've learned is that like there's so much I thought I remembered that I didn't remember. So I'll pause here for the people watching. Who has read Benti? I think I put a heart click the heart button. And what did you enjoy the most about Benti from what you remember? And I'm close. Yeah, I see hearts. So people have read Benti. That's exciting. And then what did you enjoy the most about Benti? Did you enjoy her travel to Umza University? Did you enjoy the way Neda Corfor described the attack on the Meduse? Did you enjoy the fact that she was a math trilogy, that she was a harmonizer, that we see aliens in the story? There's a lot to enjoy about Benti.
While we're waiting for all the comments to come up, I remember this one part, now that we're talking about it, where she met some of the nomads, and it's all coming back to me. And, I thought it was super dope how she learned how to use her powers better through hanging out with them and trying to survive. And I was just like, wow. And how they separated from their main clan. And I was just like, oh, because I really love lore. And so I was reading it and I was just like, oh, this is juicy.
It's juicy in the way there's a twist in there, but it was interesting to see a character that had faced so much stereotypes and stigma, and how she was dealing with some internalized stereotypes and stigma that she had towards a different group. So it was very fascinating to see Benti navigate that. And let me read this comment since I'm close enough to read comments today. Diary of a Firebird. I love that her elected diaspora experience puts her in the middle of so many struggles. I guess being a mixed Black and Asian resonated with me. So agreed. So Betsy definitely had very interlapping identities, some of which are highlighted in the beginning of the book or the beginning of the series, and some of which unfold later in the series, which does give her a mixed cultural background. So thank you for highlighting that, Diary of a Firebird. And I'm sure and we'd love to discuss more about how that resonates with you as a mixed Black and Asian person.
I think M. Bad, she said something along the lines of, my favorite part was treeing, and the way that the way her tribe used math and equations. Oh, yes.
Yes.
That was exciting.
I definitely loved this thinking, the process of treeing, which I consider deep meditation, and bringing that into math. So that was super fascinating, how she was using fractals and all that kind of very interesting and fascinating stuff. And to see a Black female character really getting deep into mathematics and the analytics and using that to harmonize the energy of the earth in different societies, and how that became a very powerful tool for Benti, and how she was able to really influence change, real cultural and societal change, both at UMSA University and when she got back home. So thank you.
Remind me, when she was in school, her focus was math, or how did that work?
I feel her focus was definitely math, and I felt like her friend, it was probably tactical. It wasn't, the term wasn't tactical
Mhm.
warfare, but it was something more like war strategies.
Yeah, because I remember I was like, I think she had to like take classes that she didn't want to. And I was just like, wow. And how she was just like, wow, she was so smart in some areas she was just like, what are you talking about? And so I was just like, oh, wow. And then like she met her friends there and it was super dope.
And I think that was like very, I mean, I don't know, like in here we'll talk about what was your college experience like? Because I know, like, thank you for saying two amazing people with children of this trauma. I don't know if you're talking about us or two other amazing people, but I'll take it. Oh, hey, MH the verb. I owe you an email and it's coming. But I'll just going back to Binti going to UMSI University. I think like particularly for me as a Black nerd, going off to college is really like a place where I found my tribe, which is great. I went to college here in the South Bay, and everything from like the name of my dorm was Ujima. Oh, thank you, Lost Children of Andromeda. It's us. We are cool people. Thank you. Um, Being able to be in a college dorm called Ujima, which for a second they were like, you won't be able to stay, and then last minute somebody decided not to stay there, and I was able to stay. And then like being active in Nesby, so like connecting with other like Black nerds. So how was that for you? Was college a time where you found your tribe or like
For
vintage?
me, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Okay.
I apologize. For me, though I didn't finish college, college was a time for me where I started blossoming into who I was. I started figuring out what does Brandy like, who does Brandy like to hang around? And I got a lot of independence and I loved it. My parents would be like, why don't you call me? And I'd be like, this is me. This is where I blossom. And so I was able to, figure out what I wanted to do education wise. And I realized what I really wanted to do was language and, write. And for language, you really don't have to go to college. And so what I ended up doing was just going to a language school and just studying and traveling. And that made me happy.
Nice. So tell me
Yeah.
more about this exploration of languages, and how you realized that that was something you're super passionate about, and how that ties into like your experiences in reading Afrofuturism.
Understood. So growing up, all I liked was playing in the band and the orchestra and doing language classes. Starting in middle school, all I took was, if it was extracurricular, where I failed in like easy stuff like art, I was like acing Spanish and Japanese. I just took it. I was just like, oh, this is coming so easy to me. And I loved it. I looked at it like decoding a puzzle. And I love that. I love puzzles. I love Sudoku. And then as I got older, I started writing about it and I loved it. And, I started writing, a lot of stories, but I never saw me. I always saw things like Harry Potter and I loved fantasy and sci-fi. And so I would write my own stuff until the first time I heard about it was from your site. And I was just like, I don't know. Let me check it out. Is this really a big thing? And then I ordered a couple books, and the first book was Binti. And I was just like, this people write like this? Oh my gosh. And so, I read it and, I love the contribution to like languages to the story. I like how they were using math. I'm not good at math, but math can be used as a language. I love it. I've actually traveled to Japan myself. I've traveled across the United States. My next goal, after the big C, is to travel to a Spanish country to practice my Spanish. And if I could do that for the rest of my life and write, I would be dope, that would be sweet. But that's how I discovered, what I was into and what I like to do.
That's awesome. And so I love the fact that Binti was one of the first books that you bought from Sister Sci-Fi. How did you discover this? Did you discover it on social media, like on Instagram? Did a friend tell you about it?
I was actually on Facebook, and like always, I was mindlessly scrolling and I saw your ad and I was just like, I like books. I like to support Black women. So I went on there and I was browsing through the website and I was like, that's okay. Okay. And then I read the description for Venti and I was just like, I'm going to buy all three at one time. I don't know what told me to do that, but I did. And so I bought it. No, I bought the first one or two because I think your website said you ran out. And I was like, oh no. So I read it and then I read it and I was just like, okay, now I got to wait for you to take out the other two. And so I waited. And when it restocked, I bought it again. And then I told myself, I said, I'm just going to buy all the books from your website. I know that, you can go from Amazon or whatever, but I was like, gotta stay here. But yeah, it was super dope. I have in my room, I have like 5 cases of books. I buy a lot of books.
That's yeah. Yeah, I was like pulling the books for this. I was pulling like my books by Nikki Drayton, and I saw a couple books, and I was like, that people had given me as gifts, and I was like, yeah, I love it when people gift you books as a bookseller. But yeah, it's like it's almost like you can't have too many books. And Venti is great to going back to math as language, because that was also a part of Venti's skill, like as a harmonizer. She could easily adapt to communicating with different cultures and different languages. Like we saw that when how she was interacting with the Medusa, right? Like when she was trying to broker the peace at the end of Venti, the first book. And I'm like, I know you've been rolling with Sistah Scifi from the beginning, because you're like, you remember when we're selling Venti as individual books and not the trilogy as a binder.
Yes. So. I'm glad, you asked me about, I really wanted to ask you, how did you begin? Because I think I discovered you like at the beginning of COVID. And I was just like, oh, I gotta do this. I gotta check this out. Because Barnes and Nobles, Borders, Books A Million, everybody's closed. So where am I going to get my books from? So I was just like, sweet. And I'm tired of sending my money to Amazon. I'm tired. It does not support something I support.
Yay. So I'm glad you decided to support us. The Sistah Scifi origin story. Sistah Scifi started February 2nd in 2019. I was living in Seattle, but technically, I say we started then, and that was in Oakland, California. We were doing a book club event with Jules Gomez discussing the Gilded stories, which was great. And I started it because, like you, I discovered science fiction written by Black women super late in life. And I felt like I missed a memo. I was like, wait, how did I miss this memo? Like, I've always read like Black literature. I love science fiction. I should have been like the first person to know about this. And I had just finished discussing Lilith's Brood with my friend Jen May. And she was like, oh yeah, so have you heard of like Nnedi Okorafor, Tomi Adeyemi? I knew of Nayla Hopkinson. And she named all these people, and I was like, no. And I was like salty. I was like, how do I not know? And especially with twofold, because they're Black and I'm West African. Both of my parents are from Ghana, and they're West African. And so I wanted to have people to discuss the books. And at first I tried to make my friends read them, and they were just like, we got other things to do with our time. And I was like, it might be easier to just become friends with people who have read the books. And then, and I like selling stuff online. And so we became like an online
sisterhood.
The first year we were mostly like going to pop-up events, and then Shelter in Place happened, and people were looking for Black-owned bookstores, and then they're like, oh, you out here. So Shelter in Place allowed us to become the online bookstore that we wanted to become. And as we think about how we want to build community around the books in 2022, we're really developing into becoming like a social media bookstore. And what does that mean? To like engage the conversation through Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Pinterest, go where the readers are, build these conversations, and drive awareness around the books.
Yes. And, I just want you to know right now, you have literally made my day. For you to invite me on your show, biggest dream. I saw you and I was like, how am I going to ask her? How am I going to ask her? And then you invited me. Thank you so much.
Yay! No, that makes me happy. And I think this is part of like what I'm doing to like broaden the spotlight, right? Like I want to do this every Wednesday. And it's easy. Yay, I love the hearts. I'm not quite sure who's popped with the hearts. I want to do this every Wednesday, and I could just speak to people in the comments, but I definitely much more enjoy talking to somebody else, hearing their experiences, especially particularly Black creators. I probably say this every week. There's a special place in heaven for Black creators, and that's why Sistah Scifi is there. And I like to think of myself as a professional fangirl. So I love like glowing up Black creators. So if this is one way to do it, that's awesome. So it makes me very happy.
I appreciate it. And once I finish reading Exodus, I'm going to finish it, and then I'm going to be like, this is my review, because so my plan is, while doing my book and doing my box, to do live reviews. So, that's my plan. I'm super excited. If the authors on this chat, if you follow me, you will literally be giving me the best birthday gift. Please, because I'm a big fan.
Yay! So Lost Children of Andromeda says, "Oh my God, same. I'm such a huge fan." So yeah, so at least it looks like you have one follower there. Lost Children, So we're
good friends. He's actually coaching me through my publishing process.
Oh, perfect. She's like,
yes.
He's like, definitely. She's like, girl, I'm a huge fan. I'm very invested in this. I love it. Yay.
Yeah, I love the community that I have joined. I love the community that you have. I hope that, my motto is everyone can win. Why can't we?
And
I always...
Where are you based now that you were out of the pool? Like, you were in the pool.
Between you and me, I work for a pool.
Oh, okay. I mean, like, that's really dope. Okay. So yeah. Where in the country? So it's an indoor pool, or
I live in Maryland.
Oh, you just said that. Okay.
Yes, I live in Maryland. I can't tell you where I work because I work for the government, but I do work for a pool.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited. I just got finished teaching class. I teach a whole bunch of kids how to swim. It's one of my highlights of the day, and they felt really great because they swim in the deep end. That's my day job.
Yeah, I love it. I know. I mean, like, there's so much, really veering off like both books, but like so much stereotypes of like Black women not swimming. Just like I mean, I don't swim like super. I'm not the best swimmer, but I do swim. And one of the things that I decided for December is to go do 30 minutes of swimming every week. So we'll see how it goes.
Oh, I recommend it because it works out. So why doesn't it doesn't build like muscle? It works out your whole body, and it's been a really good plus for me since I had my child when COVID started. So when I came back to work after we could, I've been really losing weight, and it's, I'm really excited because not only does it help you out mentally, it helps you out physically, and I'm not a runner. You're not going to see me run anywhere, but I was.
Yeah, you're not going to see me run. But and I was telling someone, I was like, I don't know why I like the swimming so much, but maybe there is that mental boost. And somebody's like, you like the coordinated breathing, and I was like, oh, my hand-arm coordination is not that great, but yeah, so awesome. So going back to Benty, who is your favorite character in the book?
Ooh,
and I'll also put that to people in the chat. If y'all want to drop in your favorite character in the book, please feel free.
So I don't want to sound like, I guess, a cliche. But when I was reading the book, I had a hard time relating to her family. They reminded me heavily of kind of like a Muslim family where everybody was just like, you have to be this way. You're a woman, you kind of have to be this way, or something like, to those words. And so, but the person I really, coordinated with and, viewed myself as was, Benty. And I really loved her because I saw myself in her. because I feel like I broke away from family norms. I feel like I had to move in order to be who I was. And when she went, and did what she had to do and got on that ship, I was just like, go girl. And if I remember correctly, she had a friend. And I know I liked one of her friends, and her friend was a really good friend to her. I think she was also I think they went to the same professor or something along those lines. There was a professor that really was into what she was doing, and she had a friend. I like the professor, and I like that friend.
Right. And Betsy was a very charismatic character. Diary of a Firebird also said that Betsy was their favorite character. I usually tend to shy away from liking the main protagonist as my favorite character. But yeah, I liked Betsy too. I definitely appreciated her relationship with the professor that you're mentioning. Um, I thought it was very interesting that she became friends with the Medusa, right? And because it's like they met in a very scary situation. What did you think about the fact that they were able to develop a friendship?
I think it stems from the fact that, she's used to being, the oddball. So I don't think, it was too much of a stretch for her. She already knows how to communicate in other ways that people don't. So when I was reading it, I was just like, I can see that. That's kind of how I felt, because I was reading it and I was just like, I just think they just related to each other on that line, because, she's so used to it. So now when she sees this, she's just like, this is natural for me.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt.
Call out. Yeah, like she's used to like one being different, like from her family and how they operate, and like her brothers and sisters. So she's like, oh, this being is also different, and they could connect on that. I
And
want to
she's
say,
also different at school.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes perfect sense. Um, I'm just trying to think what else do we want to talk about regarding I just got to really
No, no, no. So I'm thinking back. Um, I think we should really talk about, how she did if it's cool with you, how she did an excellent job um, writing. I don't want to say horror, but scary parts. And, when I was reading them, I have a really big thing where I like when stories kind of jump off the page and it sounds like they're reading to me. And so when I remember when everybody was getting attacked and everybody was scared, I remember listening and I was just like, wow, I felt like I was watching a movie. And, that's how you know that you have found an author that is amazing. You know what I'm saying? When you have an author that feels like when you read their book, you're watching a movie, I think that's when you know that you need to continue following that author, because I feel like that's a very hard skill to have. I hope to gain that skill. Like, I think that's amazing. When I was in school, I really liked when teachers read to me. That was like my biggest thing. I didn't want to go to recess. I want you to read me a book, because that was just so entertaining.
So
You
it
know what I
sounds
mean?
like you listened to the audiobook. Is that correct? Or
You say, no, I read it.
okay, okay.
Yeah, but I'm saying when you read it and it's when you read it and you can visualize.
Yeah,
Isn't
so
it beautiful?
I agree with that. And I find it so you like horror, it sounds like, because you really gravitated to the scary and very intense parts of
Yeah,
Benty.
I like sci-fi horror. That's
Okay.
my big thing.
Yeah, so I agree with that. I think if you haven't read it already, you'll probably really enjoy Who Fears Death. Who Fears Death is really intense for me. I was just like, this is so you might like it if you like
Oh,
that
what's it
horror.
called?
Who Fears Death, also by Nadia Corcoran.
Let me write that down.
And I'll message it to you. Um,
Does
um,
anybody else in the chat have any recommendations for me?
yeah, you'll get lots of recommendations. So if you have any big recommendations, drop them in the chat. That'd be awesome. Oh, that's what I was gonna ask. So since you were able to like really visualize Benty as you're reading it, who do you think would be a great actress to play Benty in the TV adaptation?
Ooh, that's a good question.
And Diary of a Firebird also recommends Who Fears Death. So it's not just me. I personally prefer Book of Phoenix to Who Fears Death, just because I liked the.
So if I could recommend anybody to play Benty, I remember I read, no, I watched, um, I can't remember the title, but the movie with the girl who was really good at chess, the Disney movie,
Yes.
the
Oh,
Queen of the Queen of something, and I feel like she has that fearlessness down packed in my.
yeah, I'm trying to like. No, not. Yeah, I can't. I'm not quite sure. We'll have to like maybe try to Google that. But yeah, I think that would be a great, potentially great casting from the how you're describing that fearlessness and that ability to navigate. I just want to add Diary of a Firebird also thinks says that Book of Phoenix was amazing. I want to find what was this chess movie? Do you remember anything like about the year it came out or roughly the name?
Yeah, let me do a quick Google search. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, 'cause it's
I'm
gonna
right in
drive
front
me.
of the computer.
Yeah,
So
and I'll drop that for the rest of the people. Oh, somebody found it. That's why I love doing these live. Queen of Katawe. So let's see who the actress was. Thank you so much for that. I think that's Lola. Lola Darling. I love that because it reminds me of She's Gotta Have It. Um,
I really love the movie. I thought that, it didn't get the hype that it should have. I think it's still on Disney Plus.
yeah. And so are you talking about Fiona Matusi?
Yeah, the main character.
No, wait, is that? No, she's not the main character. Oh, so that I think that's maybe who the story was based off of, and the main character is probably Medina no Wanaga.
That sounds
So
familiar.
yeah, based off of what she looks like, and I'm looking at my phone, and part of me wants to turn my phone around, like this is the young the actress. Is that who you
Yes.
remember?
Yeah, but
She
of
seems
course she
like
would have to have some hair, but yeah, I
yeah,
thought the way she acted, and I think when I imagine Benty, I think she's like 14, 15 years old in my head. That's how I imagined her. Yeah.
yeah. So I think that would be great casting, especially with hair. And I mean, like, I think the hair would have to be prosthetic anyway, because like eventually they become tentacles, right? And they start to move and they turn blue. And so like they're not gonna be like regular locks regardless.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will drop oh yeah, a lot of people were like got it right away. So I will drop that also in the chat. Who would you cast to play Benty in the Benty Hulu series if you had the ability to dream cast
hmm
Benty? But I think that's an excellent one.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, so the only so you typically don't see a lot of currently um, young black actors, especially women.
Mhm.
Um, I really only, because I've been watching a lot of Netflix, and I'm trying to remember. So, now that I'm thinking about it, you really don't see a lot of little black, unless you're watching something like Blackish or a show specifically saying it's an all black cast.
There's the girl who is the young woman who was in The Girl with All the Gifts. Um,
hmm
I thought she was a really strong actress. There's the actress who was in it was like a vampire show. It only lasted for one season. It was based off of a book, and now it's going to drive me crazy that I can't remember. Um, do you remember? It was like a vampire show, and it's like the guy, and then you had like this guy who was recruiting these people into a military base, and so they recruited her. Oh my God, it's gonna drive me crazy.
What
Um,
platform was it on?
I mean, I watched it on Hulu, but it
Okay.
wasn't a Hulu original. Um, Vampire TV shows.
Hmm. I can Google it.
Like it's not that one. Not
Let's see real quick.
I don't think it was V Wars. Oh, The Passage. That's what it was. Um,
Oh.
yeah. So I really, really, really enjoyed The Passage, but I think I was one of two people in America to watch it. Um, like I was like, is anybody watching this show? It was just me. It was only on for one season. It was based off a book. I really, really enjoyed The Passage. And I think, in case people want to watch it, you
Oh, hold
can.
on. Wasn't the girl from Wrinkle in Time?
Oh, because I didn't
She's
watch Wrinkle in Time.
great.
But yes, that
Yeah.
sounds right.
You know what? So it's really funny that we're having this conversation because I read that book in middle school and I loved that book. And I wanted to be the first person in line to watch that, but I never got the chance to. And now that we're having this conversation, I can write it down and I gotta remember, gotta watch Wrinkle in Time. I
So
didn't want to watch it for
why do you
Oprah.
think you haven't watched it yet? Guess.
You said, why haven't I?
Yes.
Oh, mostly because I don't always get a chance to go to the movies. And
Um,
so when it was out, I was just like, I really want to go, but I'm too busy. And then I think it's on DVD, and now I can go watch it on a free streaming service.
but I don't think she was in A Wrinkle in Time. She was in Fast Color. She was the daughter in Fast Color.
It's Fast
Um,
Color.
she was in King Richard, and apparently she was in Fences and maybe Hidden Figures. Um,
No, I'm saying I really like the main character in Wrinkle in Time. I think she would be a good Benty.
oh, got it, got it. Oh, let's check. Really? Because like I think the young lady in A Wrinkle in Time would be an interesting casting. Elaborate on
Okay,
that. Yes, Fast Color. So I
so
really just give me. I really enjoyed Fast
yeah.
Color the movie. Supposedly it's going to turn into a TV show, and I'm totally here for it. I want to see multi-generational Black girl magic everywhere. Okay, now back to Wrinkle in Time, and that actress playing Benty.
Oh, so no, I'm thinking about it again, and I remembered that she is very light skinned. I'm remembering now. And Benty is dark skinned, so I'm like, never mind. I just remember the commercial, and I'm just like, never mind. And I think it's
I know it
important.
now. It's like, yeah, maybe I miss him.
And I think it's important that we keep this consistent and we stop light casting. That's a big thing. I don't want to set that precedent. That's what I'm correcting myself now. Um, I want more people to be like, oh, okay, oh, she's really cute, oh, she's really dope, and not just because she's light skinned. I see a big trend in the media where they're like, oh yeah, this is a Black woman, but she is most likely white, and she's very passing, and it kind of upsets me because if they're like, oh yeah, she's Black, it's never dark skinned, they're never even my complexion. I consider myself light skinned, so yeah.
Right. No, I'm here for that. So yeah, so there are a lot of good options. People enjoy Fast Color. Diary of a Firebird was like, y'all can't forget to talk about Wheel of Time. So I'll mention Wheel of Time. I've only watched like an episode and a half. I don't have a good excuse. There's so much great television. I still have to watch all the Expanse. So let's pause there. Have you watched Wheel of Time?
No, I don't know what that is. Diary of Firebird.
Oh my God. The Wheel of Time is based off of a book. It's streaming on Amazon Prime.
Ooh.
And let me read you the synopsis because I'm going to get it all wrong. But
Please.
Moraine, a member of a magical organization, takes 5 young people on a journey believing that one of them might be the reincarnation of the dragon. A powerful individual prophesies to save the world or destroy it. So that is the synopsis.
Mhm.
And it's fascinating, and there's a good level of diversity in it, which I appreciate as well. And I just want to say, hey Bertha, how are you? I hope you're feeling great. on this Wednesday. And I'm happy you're able to join us on this Wednesday wind down. And I will get my life together next week and actually have some wine. So, yeah.
Yes. Like you, I don't typically drink, but if we're having a Wednesday wind down, I will get a little bit.
I mean, it doesn't have to be because I might as well be wine. It'll definitely like. I think next week I'll do a blueberry kombucha mimosa, which is not wine
Oh.
at all. Yeah, which is kombucha, blueberry juice, and blueberries. Um, yeah, now it looks like April's Magic says now it looks like we gotta get Wheel of Time out on the list. Agreed. So I enjoy Wheel of Time. I definitely recommend Fast Colors. Watch the movie. I think that's available on Amazon Prime. I really enjoy The Expanse. There's a lot of good television shows out there, and there's about to be more. So I'm excited about all the book adaptations in the work. So we'll pause there. Brandy, what are you watching?
Currently, I just finished this space show. I think it's called Lost in Space on Netflix. I got a couple other shows on my list that I have to watch. I just say it. I watch a little bit of anime. I've been watching that. I've been catching up on Disney movies that I never saw. So like, yeah, like I never watched Coco. I never watched. So there was like a lot of built up Pixar movies that I love. I never finished. So I was just like, okay, gotta watch Coco, gotta watch Raya, gotta watch Luca, and I was watching all of them.
All of them. And there's like so many now. So also like with everything else, in the chat, if there's shows that you're loving that fit in the general realm of Afrofuturism, African futurism, if there's anything Afrofuturism, definitely drop that. Or Black speculative fantasy that you're really digging, drop that in the chat. What am I watching? I want to watch What If on Disney Plus. I keep seeing like bits of it. I was like, this seems amazing. Like, why haven't I watched it?
Yeah.
What else? I'm watching Discovery of Witches, but that doesn't fall into the genre at all. I mean, there are Black characters, but Discovery of Witches is like True Blood based in London.
Oh, it is? I love True Blood.
Yeah, I mean, loosely, in that you have vampires, witches, and demons. They're no fairies.
And what's it called?
The Discovery of Witches.
Discovery. And that's on Netflix?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Got it. I don't know if you've watched this. There's this show on Amazon Prime. It's going to come to me. It's this show about this comic book, and the comic book has like clues to where this secret base is. And all these kids go to this convention, and they're just like, yeah, you know, we all love this comic. And oh yeah, I love Star Trek Discovery.
Wait, how can I forget Star Trek Discovery? Yes.
Hello. Yes. We most definitely have to talk. Trekkie. But yeah, so they go to this convention. Everybody's a big fan, and they have this comic book, and they find out the comic book gives them clues to this secret base and how they've been contributing to all these global catastrophe. So like a virus went out, people are dying and they don't know, but you know, people think it's just a silly comic book. And the main girl, she's Black, and she is trying to rescue her father who is at this facility.
I feel like I've watched that show, and I'm so, like, I cannot remember the name because I know I watched this show.
Yes.
It was like another like my sci-fi bestie at the time. What is it? So I'm gonna have to like, it's driving me crazy. Discoveries in the I don't know what that means, but yes, April, I'm down for it. I need to remember the name of the show, and when I post this this episode, I'll tag that because I know I watched it, and for the life of me, Station 11. I haven't watched Station 11. April, but it's in my queue. I'm really excited. I was like, I gotta watch Insecure. Yeah, I gotta get after the culture, and everybody's telling me to watch Station 11. So I had that in my queue. I've downloaded like most of the episodes. So,
I see someone said something about Lovecraft Country. I have an opinion, a hard opinion, and people disagree on it. I
okay.
liked it until I felt like the storyline wasn't consistent. I didn't really like the writing after like episode 4. I felt like because I'm very lore oriented, I was like, some things aren't adding up. And I remember I had a lot of debates about it. But other than that, I loved who did I love? I know I didn't like the main guy. I think I liked the girl that he was dating, huh?
Oh yeah, everybody loved Journey and Letty. Everybody
Yeah,
loved Letty in Lovecraft Country. Yeah.
I love Letty and I love the father. Um, not yeah, I liked him. I thought he was a really good actor.
Yeah. I'm so sad that he passed last year. I love Lovecraft Country, but I realized like I
Utopia, that's what it is.
you no, I didn't watch that. I don't think
No,
so.
it's about the
Wait,
comic.
Utopia? I don't think I watched that.
Oh, what's the one with the comic book?
Wait, is that the one with the comic book, Utopia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I watched it, but maybe I really I'm looking for it now. Utopia. A group of young adults hold a call underground which burns them with the dangerous task of saving the world. Oh, maybe I did watch because now the actors look familiar. Anyway, so check out Utopia. Oh, Vagrant Queen. Oh, before we leave, we have 9 minutes. What did people think of Vagrant Queen? I haven't watched it yet. It seemed a bit campy, but yeah.
I'm
It was,
literally writing back.
yeah, you're good. So yeah, so let me know what you thought about Vagrant Queen and if I should go back and watch it because I saw it and I was excited and then oh, Diary of a Firebird said you love Vagrant Queen. Okay, so I will add it to my queue because it seems like we have a lot of overlapping tastes. It didn't take itself seriously. Okay, because I think I like intense, I like melodrama, and I tend not to like camp. But if you said that it's fun and it was executed well, I'll check it out.
Mhm.
All right. So with the last 8 minutes, Brandy, tell us about your book box. Tell us like how do people find out more information about your book that's coming out in like 2 weeks, it sounds like.
Yes, so if I start with my book, printing should be starting in 2 weeks. The goal is to, my dream is to be on your website. But what I do is there will be a book box surrounding it, my box service. Along with that, there will be an event promo that I will be releasing. And because I'm on my favorite platform, I will let you guys know that the promo event will be based on a choose your own adventure, which will be a good synopsis to prepare you for my book. It's going to be very exciting. Please follow my page for that. So my box is basically supports all Black business. So we have different types of businesses. We have people who make jewelry, people who write, people who do art, and we work with my manufacturer that I have on my team, and we coordinate these theme boxes. And along with that, we have a mentorship program. So people who work under me directly, they're new artists, new Black content creators, and they want to be the next video game company. They want to be the next author. And they're like, well, how do I do it? And so we make a box surrounding them. And then we also reach out to people like he was on earlier. We make boxes around people who have succeeded. And, we'll have them put their product in there. We'll have them put like maybe 5 or 6 items in there. And, that's their box.
I don't want to interrupt you, but Trap Lord Star has asked like, what's the book? Tell me what the book is. Where's this book?
My book?
Yes.
Oh, so my book's title is going to be called Pantheon: The Gathering. And essentially it's about, 3 Black girls in different parts of their lives. One super, bored with her great life. One is, a archaeologist and she gets harassed, and the other one is in a domestic relationship, and they all just get to their breaking point and they end up meeting gods. And these gods assist them through their journey of self-enlightenment, and ultimately they run into a lot of issues, but they're key to fixing them. They are what we call, they're part of the three rings, and they're all, very important attributes. And it's a two-part series. The book is a lore, fantasy, adventure, erotica. So, but don't let that distract you. It's like 20% erotica. It's really lore based. It's very heavy. And I had a great time writing it, and I think you will like it too. Yeah. And, the best part about our box is that there's a mentorship program. And so we use the people who have succeeded, and we ask them to teach our team how to get there. And, I love giving back.
Yeah, I love all of that. I love one of the things we did a brand sheet, and one of the attributes that, hey, Erica, I saw your text. I'm gonna respond. We did a brand sheet, and one of the principles that I put on there was Ujima, right? Because there's one thing to have a successful business. There's one thing to have a successful business that gives back, right, and creates opportunities for other people, like Oprah Winfrey does, or Issa Rae does, or all that kind of stuff. So I'm here for it. Daria of a Firebird asked where we can buy the book. We're figuring that out.
Yeah. So you can, once the book is printed, it will be sold on my website. My website's on my Instagram page. It's the audacious black femme.bigcartel.com. You'll also see my other boxes that I'm selling currently. A majority of all the profits go back to the artists and the writers and the content creators. If you talk to them, all I do is promote them, and all I do is give them a majority of the funds. It's all I'm here for is to promote, to make people aware, and to, make sure people get where they want to be.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so happy that the universe allowed you to be on the second Sistah Sci-Fi Wind Down Wednesdays. It won't be the last. So I'm super excited about that. I really enjoyed the conversation about escaping Exodus and Benty and all the TV shows. Next time you come on, we can just talk about TV shows, because I also watch all the television. So
understood. I have a long weekend, so once I, binge everything, I'll send you an email, and I'll be like, I'm ready for Wind Down Wednesdays again. It would be an honor to come back on.
Or it could be something you've already watched, just to make it as low-lift as possible. Thank you for everybody who hopped on. Erica, Diary of a Firebird, Lost Children of Andromeda. I think I saw Aisha, Bertha was on here quickly. And anybody, things are kind of scrolling through. So it was great to see you in cyberspace. I will see you next week, Wednesday, at Sistah Sci-Fi Wind Down Wednesday. And I might actually have a beverage. And if you want to hop on with me or anybody else, shoot me an email and we can put you on the calendar. And I think that we have 2 more minutes if there's something else you want to say. I was like, I got 2 more minutes.
I think you will really benefit having a conversation with lost children of Andromeda. I think he's really dope. He has 2 books out. He has this really thick science fiction book out. I talked to him. We're really big Neil Gaiman fans, and I think you'll really like him.
Yeah, and I was looking at A Cloud of Woman, and she got a quote from Neil Gaiman, and I was like, I see you, Nettie Okorafor. So yeah, I was like on the front cover and everything. So I am about that life. I'm excited to watch Anansi Boys when it's on television. I don't know why I won't read the book, but
yes,
I'm here for Anansi Boys TV adaptation.
He was my sci-fi crush before I started reading, Black sci-fi. Everything. Please watch Anansi Boys. Please read it. It's amazing.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Well, Yes, I know I should read it. I'm like my to be read list is about to like crush me. So that's I'm just like I want to read it and my to be read list is crushing me. So I'm here for it. All right, everybody, you're officially halfway through the week. Thank you for joining us on Wind Down Wednesdays, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.